Welcome to Horden, and today we are going to be telling the story of one town's forgotten past and why Horden has been so neglected over the last 20 to 30 years. Let's go and speak to Matty, who is from Horden, who's going to tell us the story of this managed neglect. Before we went and met my friend Matty, who was going to show us about for the day, we went a walk about Horden and we bumped into a chap called Brian, and we asked Brian's opinion of Horden. Brian lived in Horden and this is what he told us. So what's your name, mate?
Right, Brian Bellingham.
Hi Brian.
Right.
So what's it like around in Horden?
Right, these are the numbered streets, right? And all used to be full. Now there's about 20 houses empty in every street. And it goes from 1 right up to 13. And then every street there's about 10, 15 houses empty. So it has went downhill, you know what I mean?
So why do you think it's went downhill?
Because of the pit shutting.
Oh, right.
You know the pit?
Yeah.
That's where everybody got work, you know what I mean? Well, once that shut, everybody moved away.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when every house was full. It was everybody out.
Yeah.
Now if you go down these numbered streets, right, there's about 15 houses in every street. You know what I mean?
And how does that make you feel? Sorry, Brian, how does that make you feel, Brian?
It makes me pissed off a bit, but I've lived here all my life, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And what do you do then? You mentioned your mum. What do you do, Brian?
I'm on the dole, mate.
Are you on the dole?
Aye. There's not to do, is there?
Yeah. Right, Matthew, how are you, brother?
Good, mate. Good.
Tell us where we are now, then.
So we're at the top of Peterlee. It's called Peterlee Steps. This area here is Eden Hill, and as you can see, all of this is Horden.
How long have you lived in Horden for?
All my life, mate. I was born in '94, and me and my mum have lived all over Peterlee and Horden. So, yeah.
What was Horden like growing up as a child?
It was okay. I've been trying to think, to be honest, about the difference between when I was young and now, and there's not a lot of difference, to be honest, mate. Probably just more deprivation. Less things for kids to do. Like, if you want to do anything, you have to go to like Sunderland, Newcastle, Durham. I mean, you've seen them, and like even just the difference in the investment there compared to Horden, it's quite shocking, to be honest.
Why do you think that there's that lack of investment? Because there's no just lack of investment, there seems to be no investment. How do you think that is, or is there any answer in that man?
I think, mate, the mine shut in '87, and they fought for our futures because they knew what was coming. They say they shut them down because of environmental reasons, but then we went to import millions of tons from China and Germany. And since then, there was some call centres, and there's still factories as well in Peterlee. But apart from that, mate, it's just like small businesses and takeaways, betting shops, just the norm, really. And I think it's been systematically done by the government to make us dependent on the state in the sign of bigger things to come, really.
It feels when you're driving through Horden that it's a bit of a ghost town. It's been neglected. It feels like it's just been left. And as an outsider, like myself, driving through Horden, where you've got this lovely, beautiful coastline, and then maybe about 50 metres inwards as you're driving through Horden, it seems really, really neglected. And what's intriguing me is, like, why is this absolute ghost town like Horden? Why has it been left?
Like, to be honest, I've just said to you, Charlie, like, even I'm quite shocked. It's been a while since I've been down here. And like, it's in an even more like desperate state of decay, really.
That desperate decay. We only have to look behind us and just basically what you're talking about with and doors and the blinds, isn't it? The aren't my doors and blinds. I mean, they've just been bolted up that way. They look like my people when they're living in them. What do you think? I can see it on your face. You can see it on your face.
It's sad,
you seem
man.
really shocked.
I'm shocked. I'm sad. Mate, that you've got that fucking beauty right there of that chair.
We're standing at Horden pit wheel. Look at the significance of this pit wheel. Do you know, to me, this signifies the hard working miners as they went down into the earth to mine the coal. Man, what does it represent to you, Matthew?
Well, it kind of, what I've just been saying to you, mate, it brings it all home for me. Like like these miners, and not just the miners, the women who help the miners cook the food, etc. They literally fought for my generation and all the generations beyond futures. And if you don't know about Our Grave, then check it out. There's a Facebook campaign called Our Grave, Truth and Justice. And there's still that was where the police had turned on the miners. The police had broke the law and then tried to imprison the miners for like 10 years plus for things that they hadn't done, and they're still trying to get justice today.
Oh man, thanks for letting us know that one, Matthew.
Check it out.
But no, but this represents, it represents Horden, man, doesn't it? It represents like the abundance of Horden in the 19th and 20th century. And when Horden was bustling, do you know, man, this is one of the, as I read, was one of like the most significant mines, you know, man, in England.
Yeah.
Do you know, these hard working men? And you know, it's amazing to even stand in their shadows.
Yeah.
And thanks, Matthew. As we drove away from Horden, Matthew had told me that there was a mine shaft in Easington Colliery, which was just down the road, the next town. So I drove away excitedly from Horden to get to see the replica mine shaft. As I reflected on my time in Horden, I realised that it had been systemically neglected. It had been forgotten about, but good men and good families had worked themselves to the bone to work down those mines, and my hats go off to them, and so does my hearts to the men and women and families of Horden. So where are we now, Matthew?
So Easington Colliery Nature Reserve, mate. This is where Easington Mine used to be. And obviously this is a replica of the lift that they used to go down.
So this is a replica of the shaft that used to take them right down.
Yep.
Wow, isn't that amazing? A replica, a replica mine shaft in Easington Colliery Nature Reserve. Just check that out. Check that out. And I was just reading in Matthew that in 1951 there was actually a disaster here that killed something like 83 people in Easington Colliery. You know, I don't think the mine can even like understand the level of these hard working men, you know, going down into these mines, going down into these shafts, working day and night. You know, the hard work, the hard graft, you know, going out miles upon miles into the sea to extract this coal, man, isn't it?
Exactly, mate. Like, even myself included, like, I don't feel as though I have enough appreciation and knowledge than what I should do, really, do you know what I mean? For what the miners did for this country and this area.
Yeah.
And our people.
And I think just to be close to a replica mine shaft where these men would go down to the depths of hell to extract this coal, so that this country, so that Britain could go into this industrial revolution, so that Britain could rule the world and rule the Commonwealth. It was men like these, it was men and families that went down to the depths of the coal to extract the generations and generations and generations of men and families who put their life for us, for our generation, so that we could be living the way that we live in today. And I am absolutely in awe. This is the first time that I have seen this. And for me, this, you know, we've seen poverty, we've seen deprivation in Horden. And to me, it's a shame, Matthew. It's a real shame that stuff like this, and you know, man, this should be taught in our classrooms.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
I caught a word off of a chap who was walking his dog, and this is what he had to say. It was absolutely beautiful. What do you make of the mine shaft?
Sorry?
What do you make of the mine shaft?
Well, my dad used to say that, like, how many men was in each? There was 12 men in each, so about 40 men would get in there or something.
Really?
Just to see it, but like the worst part was trying to get machinery down the pit.
Oh, well, was it really?
So they had to strip it all down so it would fit in there and then build it all up when it got down.
Wow.
Just,
How long have you lived in Easington for?
oh, I don't live in it. I just live in the next, live in Peterlee.
Oh,
I've lived
you live in Peterlee?
I've lived in this area for like since I was born.
Yeah.
I was born in Peterlee, so.
And what do you make of the area then? What do you make of
The
the area?
north east.
Yeah.
Best place in the world.
Yes.
I get lonely when I kind of go across the Tyne, kind of go into that Scotland, and I'll go down to Teesside because I don't like them down there. I'm only happy when I'm coming across the river back home.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I just love that. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah. And I think there was three mine shafts here when it was a pit.
And was
There was three of them. Yeah, it was a fairly big colliery, isn't it?
We were saying as well, mate, it's such a shame that, like, it's not young kids and stuff aren't more educated on it.
Well, they don't even remember them now. To be honest, you'd think they remember for like 100 years, but they don't.
No,
Even my grandchildren now can't even remember the collieries.
Really?
Should be
Like,
celebrated.
When you remember, they used to have like pit heaps.
Mm.
The pit heap that used to be at Easington, that was massive. When you think, where's it all at?
I know.
This is it. It's all just
So
been,
I know this is the
it's
big.
all just been spread out.
Yeah.
They were absolutely enormous.
We'll have a lovely day, mate, man.
Yeah.
It just really puts into this here, puts into perspective the hard-working men of Britain, doesn't it?
100%.
And not just the hard-working men. I'm going to take that back. The hard-working men and the hard-working families and the wives that were there, that were grafting and supporting their men as they went down these mines, generations after generation. Matthew, thank you ever so much for taking me up here. You know, I feel my passion. I feel my passion when I'm up here, and we are talking about Britain. We're talking about our history. We're talking about generational history, and we're also talking about the stigma, the stigma that destitution and poverty and what it brings, and really, this stuff is what brings it home.
100%.
Thanks, Matthew, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for today. As we drive away from Easington Colliery, me and Matthew ponder on the rugged coastline of the northeast coast as the sun rises every morning with the beautiful people and the beautiful town of Horden, Peterlee and Easington Colliery. I'll leave these last words to my mate Matthew.
I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm 19 months sober, and I've always had an interest in politics and world affairs and stuff like that. But I used to drink on that, thinking I'm powerless, the world's effed, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds cheesy, but true freedom really does begin in your heart and up here.
Absolutely.
And we've got to free ourselves before we can start changing the world. And if you are struggling with addiction, there's a CA meeting in Harden on a Friday night. You can message me, Matthew Price, because if it wasn't for me getting sober and going to AA, more importantly, I wouldn't be able to do videos like this and share knowledge and like awareness, you know what I mean? And it's the best thing I've ever done. And just know that if you are struggling, then there's people who've been in your shoes who can help you get out of it.